First point could be Penn State. Ortiz back set, and Josephoski hits it straight down. 1-0 Penn State.
Point to Penn State.
There they are. Kepner and Miller are outside. Contreras and Hurricane in the middle. Josephoski opposite Carlos Ortiz. Miller has to play well for Penn State to have a shot. Kotz dug up. It's 1-0 Penn State. Quick set to the outside. Here's Sean Scott, and he drills it off Contreras out of bounds. All right, let's give you graphically the Hawaiian starters outside Scott and Nick Berger, an outside hitter from Austria. Jason Olive, Rick Toon in the middle. The opposite, of course, is Kotz, and the setter is Kurt Vaughn. As that ball racks out of bounds, side out.
Couple of trends right away. One from Penn State. First two serves were very, very short against Hawaii, trying to mess up their offensive flow in the middle of the court, take them out of their patterns. And also Jason Olive missing his first jump serve.
Hurricane with the jumper. Back set, Kotz, and Kotz rips it. He's high in a game, or I should say a match this year, 45 kills. Not an NCAA record. The NCAA record held by John Hayden, San Diego State. He had 57 a year ago. Now Kotz jump serve coming.
He's got 44 of them on the year.
Starts off with a lollipop. Ortiz. Olive punches it up. Scott, Hawaii's first point, no. Side out Penn State.
So Penn State has survived Kotz and survived Jason Olive. Their first trip through the backcourt as servers. That'll get Penn State off well early. Ed Josephoski also with a kill.
There's Vaughn, he whips it left side, and Scott hits it off. Number 8, Carlos Ortiz for a kill.
Okay, Kurt Vaughn at 6'3", pretty nice job getting above the net, jacking the ball to the outside. Great one-on-one situation for Scott.
Sean Scott will serve it up. He's a 6'1" senior from Kailua, Oahu, Hawaii. And the rejection, Ortiz is dumped back by Nicholas Berger.
Good scouting report. Ortiz loves to what we call dump the ball down onto on the pass close to the net, but Nick Berger all over that gets Hawaii on the board. Here we go again.
1-1 is our score. Ortiz back set, Josephoski.
There's the combination. Really exciting, quick, mobile combination out of the middle. Ortiz to Ivan Contreras out of Mexico, only a sophomore. This kid can get up, motor, move out of the middle, swing right and left.
Back set, and down the line goes Nicholas Berger, 6'6" sophomore from Hallein, Austria. One of 3 imports on this Hawaiian squad, 2 from Israel, 1 from Austria. There's Berger, and Hawaii will serve. 1-1 game 1. And the serve into the bottom of the net by Rick Toon. Toon, the only true freshman playing in this competition, says my fault. Ball to Penn State. Contreras with the serve. Back set, Berger. 2-1.
Blockers from Penn State doubling up on Jason Olive here, decided to allow to go one-on-one against Berger on the outside. He was that, but hit the ball wide.
Here's Contreras, a sophomore from Tampico, Mexico. Into the middle, a beautiful set by Kurt Vaughn, and the put away by Jason Olive.
That's why Olive gets double teamed, and in spite of it, Vaughn jacks the ball into him from 4 or 5 feet off the net. He just flies real high, damaging through the block.
Vaughn short serve, Penn State, and it's dug up. 2-1 Nittany Lions, Berger. And it comes back over, and drops. Hawaii saying it went out of bounds, but it didn't. It came right back inside the antenna.
Well, Hawaii stopped. It looked like the ball went outside the antenna. Hurricane with the plate keeps going for Penn State, and they're thinking right now, wait a minute, you see Jason Olive pointing up at the antenna. If the ball comes in contact with the antenna or goes outside it, considered to be out of bounds.
2-1 Penn State. The jump serve error. First serving error for Penn State as Hawaii has the ball. And here is Nicholas Berger. He's got 14 aces on the year, serving short. Trouble.
Both teams with the same strategy, and you don't see a lot of short serving, but players are running patterns, crossing, moving, faking inside and out in the middle of the court and to their own right side. You serve into that area, you can really disrupt them offensively. Another short serve.
Down the line, the shot by number 15, Brian Miller, is out of bounds, point to Hawaii. So Hawaii takes the lead 3-2. Most people think Hawaii has the best serving team in the nation.
Well, so far, you've seen a real mix. Berger serving short, and this time bombing the floater. Hawaii's into the net, and then they come right back with Yuval Katz and Jason Olive with the damaging jump serve.
Side out, Penn State.
Penn State with the ball. Number 3 ranked or number 2 ranked, depending on which poll you believe. But these are the 2 and 3 best teams in the country as Jason Olive thunders one through. That's the second kill for Olive.
The pass comes off the net, and Kurt Vaughn works hard to get in good setting position, and then Olive a big target in the middle. Establish the middle, and then you'll see Yuval Katz get a lot more serves, or sets, I should say, as the match winds on.
Into the middle, Hurricane, and the ball is jammed down. Toon was there, and Katz was there. Katz is number 2 in green. Give him a kill.
Joust up top. Hurricane, the bigger of the players, but Yuval Katz with a lefty putting that one away. Big jump serve down the sideline by Jason Olive.
Contreras with the drive. The most valuable player in the Eastern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association tournament, a sophomore, a big dynamic hitter.
First team All-American along with his setter, Carlos Ortiz.
Now serving is number 11, Kevin Hurricane.
Berger's passing the ball well so far.
Vaughn is setting it pretty well. Quick set, transition. And Contreras, he leads Penn State in kills. He had 506 coming into this matchup.
You get some touches. Hurricane with a good enough dig, but Carlos Ortiz, like his counterpart Kurt Vaughn, working to get the ball into the middle out of transition on the not necessarily perfect pass.
Serving may be a key here. They whip it out to Scott. And Scott puts it away. I believe I said he was 6'1". He is not. He is 6'4", and he jumps well. He's been bothered by back spasms, so the Hawaii coaches have to keep a watch out on him, because sometimes when he spasms up, they have to take him out of the game. It's happened 3 times this year. Katz. 4-3 Hawaii.
Good shot.
Contreras has virtually all the shots. He can hit, block, dink.
And he's only a sophomore. Got the complete package right now offensively. This set, the timing's not quite there. Middle blocker for Hawaii is just a little dump over the top.
Here's Ed Josephoski, jumper.
Working on Berger. He's received almost every serve so far.
Katz dug up, but it's going out of bounds, so Hawaii will have the ball.
Side out, Hawaii.
If you're Penn State, you got to feel pretty good so far. You've received all of the jump serves. You've been through the rotation. No real receiving errors so far.
Scott racks it. Ortiz back set Josephoski, and Vaughn is there. Nice up. Katz, see ya! Yuval Katz.
Well, that ball was called good. This looked long to me. Real good cover on the tip by Kurt Vaughn, and Berger's just trying to get the ball up there somewhere. Can't see it at the end of the play. That thing looked distant.
5-3 is our score. Back set, there's Josephoski, and it's dug up by Berger. One arm, he wants it. They give it to Berger instead.
Olive out of the middle.
Nice up. Left side. 5-3 Hawaii by 2. Here comes Katz, and there it goes.
And Hawaii wins the first real confrontation of the match. Both teams blocking, playing good defense, transition from offense to defense, and Hawaii wins.
Mark Pavlik, 33 years old. He's the youngest head coach in the NCAA tournament. He's assisted by Greg Bird. Scott's got a great jump serve. Is he killing it? Josephoski with the straight down crank and a side out. Back at the NCAA Championship semifinals, we're live as Hawaii leading Penn State here in game 1. One of the storylines we're following, Ed Josephoski, his father, a heart attack at 5:30 this morning. They rushed him to the hospital where he's resting comfortably. Ed has told us to ask friends of the family not to call the hospital and the hotel. He is fine. They do not want to be deluged with calls, and they appreciate it very much. So Josephoski playing with a burden. So far he's played very, very well. We're trying to figure out whether that would raise his game, inspire Penn State.
So far he's off to a great start. He's gotten a couple of sets, and his body language is real positive. He's into this match, and takes a lot of courage given the situation that he was in at 6 o'clock this morning when he was called to his parents' hotel room and notified that they were on their way to the hospital.
So Joseph Oskey, a very emotional player for Penn State, a little subdued at the moment, as you might imagine. Hawaii with the serve. This is just game one, best 3 out of 5 game match. So far, Ivan Contreras has looked like a first-team All-American. He's hitting .410 coming into this match, which is unbelievable. And he will serve it up. Good pass by Berger. Vaughn. Oh, and Olive branches one down the line.
Well, you just have to serve tougher when he's in the front court. And Berger right now is passing the ball extremely well. Some nerves early, was not passing the ball on the dime. But I'll tell you, you got to serve tougher. You don't want to see that all match long.
That's going to be a point for Hawaii.
A lift called against Carlos Ortiz, and that was pretty tight. I thought that was an acrobatic, pretty tough set.
Kurt Vaughn serve into the bottom of the net. So Vaughn with the serving error. There's Kurt Vaughn. Don't adjust your color mix. He has orange hair tonight. He's a kid who dyes his hair. We'll talk more about that. He started off with magenta 3 weeks ago, worked through blue-green, and now he's orange for the semifinals.
And if it changes, don't adjust your set. It's just that he put something else on it in between games.
Well, it's not really the color of the hair that's the big problem. It's whether the gray matter is working underneath the hair. Is the gray matter working for Vaughn? So far it has been. He's a very, very good setter.
I think right now things working just fine. And of course you'd repeat that same thing to Dennis Rodman to his face, right?
Back set, here's Yuval Kotz. So far, Penn State doing an okay job on Kotz. That time with the stuff.
And with the flex down afterwards, everybody talks about Kotz's ability, of course, to hit the ball, and why not? At 8 kills a game, we've likened that to scoring 30, 40 points a game in a basketball situation. Very, very good blocker as well.
Berger with the serve. This is game one. It's 8-4 Hawaii. Little tip shot,
Smart
and
shot.
Hawaii is into the net. People all over the country enjoying live volleyball tonight. I know the fans in Hawaii, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them watching their volleyball team. Hawaii leading the nation in attendance this year. It's a phenomenon over there as Kotz gets another kill. Let's check Yuval Kotz. 6 kills so far here in game one.
And we're just at the midway point, so above his average is sterling as it is. And here comes Jason Olive to jump serve. You know, Penn State under so much pressure in every rotation receiving right now.
Olive's jump serve is too long. However, you would have to say when you get to the national semifinals, when you get to the championship, it's much more difficult to serve. The pressure is really on.
Have to just really relax, focus on your toss. I mean, everybody thinks about bombing the ball and things like that, but you really have to concentrate right there. As we look at Hurricane, he misses this one back to back. You know, the jump serve is so important in spite of all the errors that you see from it, because you just can't lob the ball at good teams anymore. They're just going to run it right down your throat.
So Kotz will serve. Tune at the net. Kotz had 6 aces in a match against UC Irvine on March 6th, so he's a tremendous server.
Tosses the ball way into the court. As long as you take off behind the line, you're legal.
Double contact called on first-team All-America Carlos Ortiz. And Mark Pavlik's team behind now 9-4 here in game one. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, Hawaii in green against the defending national champions, the Penn State Nittany Lions. Ed Josephoski with the kill. Josephoski with his 4th kill, and now he will go back to serve. So far it's been all Hawaii. Hawaii really putting the pressure on Penn State.
Well, they're serving tough, they're playing good defense, and then they have so many weapons out of transition. When they don't pass the ball perfectly, so far Kurt Vaughn has found somebody to put the ball away.
Out of the back line, here comes Jason Olive. He's dug up by Miller. Chance for a Penn State point. Ball blocked. That was legal. It came off the head of Ortiz. Hawaii not known as a great blocking team, but they do have good jumpers, so when they get one, it has impact.
And Penn State has got to score when they have opportunities. I know that sounds simple, but they got to set the ball better to the outside. Maybe Hawaii with a little bit of better ball control. When someone other than Kurt Vaughn sets the fig to the outside, you've got to give your left side hitters or the hitters out of the back court, when someone other than your setter touches the ball, a very good swing.
Let's talk about game one for a moment. When Penn State wins game one, the Nittany Lions are 20-1. Hawaii on the attack. Berger puts it away. Contrast that with the University of Hawaii. Hawaii is 19-2 when it wins game one, 0-4 when it doesn't. So this game a key for both squads. As Rick Toon, a 6'5" freshman, true freshman from Kailua, Oahu, Hawaii, with the serve. Ortiz left side. And the ball put away by number 15, Brian Miller. Of course, Penn State having to replace the great All-American Ramon Hernandez, and of course the other outside hitter, Byron Schneider. And that really falls to Miller and Kepner.
Well, and Contreras as well. I mean, he's had a first-team All-American sort of season, but I think he's got to completely carry them right now. At least it seems if they hope to come back in game one, I would set him a lot more, and he's got to get much more involved as a blocker when he passes through the front court.
There's Brian Miller. He's wearing number 15, Kurt Vaughn with the serve. It's 9-4 Hawaii. Back set and the put away to the much improved Kevin Hurricane. He's a 6'7" senior now from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. One of the tallest Nittany Lions in history. Not the biggest. Chris Chase at 6'10", back in the early 80s, was the tallest.
Hawaii passing the ball well right now. Okay, chance to score. We'll see what happens with it. Again, Hawaii playing good defense in transition.
Potts dug up. See where they go. Out of the back line, and Contreras couldn't get it.
Trying to set him the pipe. He's playing middle back defense. Again, Penn State blocks the ball well. Contreras with a good dig. And then Ortiz tries to run something real quick. You could see Contreras was coming, expecting something.
Coming for a quick set.
Something very fast in transition. The timing wasn't there. 2-point scoring opportunities Penn State has not capitalized on.
Nicholas Berger will serve. He's considered the best Hawaii passer. Short serve on the attack. Josefowski puts it away. Ed Josefowski, a 6'5" graduate student from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, he's already completed his education, working in the graduate studies program.
A smart kid, obviously, hitting the ball very deep. Hawaii got to make that adjustment. He's hit 4 balls from the right side, all of them off the top of the blocker over Hawaii. They're not making any adjustments there.
Whip it into Jason Olive, and Olive thunders it through. Olive, a first-team All-America this year. He hit .472 against UCLA in the conference championship out in LA. He's one of 2 rainbow seniors. A lot of bio information on Jason Olive. We'll talk about that all night long. Ortiz, double contact, a la Paul Sunderland. Yucky. Point
Just trying
Hawaii.
to do too much. The ball's passed over the net, and Ortiz doing everything he can to keep the ball in play. Penn State on the verge of getting blown out here in game one. That's a good pass.
Ortiz to Josefowski, and he crunched it. He may have come under the net. He did. There was a huge collision. Josefowski and Ortiz saying he was out of bounds. Give the officials, Ken Taylor and Pat Karras. Karras, the man making the call, right underneath the net.
Josefowski bombed down the line after hitting 5, 6 balls in a row cross court. Raked the net on his way down for the violation, and now you can see Hawaii smells it. They're serving tougher and tougher and tougher. You cannot allow a run of 2, 3, 4 points in a row. Penn State got a side out here.
Well, many people think that man, Mike Wilton, in his 3rd season, is going to be the National Coach of the Year. He's got 2 siblings playing. His son Aaron on this Hawaii team. We'll see him a little later, and his daughter Jenny on the Wahine team of the University of Hawaii, the women's team. Considered a very fine coach. He spent 12 years at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, then took some time off and came to the University of Hawaii and has really revived the program, I think.
From the islands, his family...
maybe not revived. He's taken the program up a step.
You know, Hawaii was always there,
yes,
but the women's program was always better.
Yes.
And now the men's program has caught up to the women and certainly maybe surpassed it. And in terms of fan interest, it's just unbelievable. I mean, 10,000 people in their new event center on the campus. And, you know, the entire city of Honolulu and the island is just on fire for this team.
Game 1, Hawaii leading Penn State 12-4. Yuval Kotz ready to serve. He's got 6 kills and a stuff block. No aces yet. Cranks it. Josefowski, pretty good pass. A whip it to Josefowski. Did he get a touch? I think he did.
Oh, yeah, off the
Big
top.
touch, off the top. Kill for Josefowski. So Ed Josefowski, one of the Penn State captains, all NCAA tournament pick last year. 12-4 is our score. Scott, Penn State chance. And Contreras puts it away. If you remember the NCAA championship final last year, Penn State trailing UCLA in game 4, 11-4. Nittany Lions came all the way back to win and take game 5. There's no quit in this team. They have good comeback potential.
Well, they have the confidence of having done it in the NC2A final. This is just the first game of what may be a long match if they can start getting better when they have chances to score.
Berger dinks it and puts it away. Oh, check that. That was Kotz. So Kotz with the kill. And Sean Scott will serve it up. 12-5, game 1. Best 3 out of 5. Don't forget, coming up later on the Deuce, full live coverage of Ball State and UCLA. Contreras is rejected by Kurt Vaughn.
Timing not quite there, and Hawaii, although great as a serving team, defensive team, we're talking digging and siding out. They're showing some strength at the net, blocking balls. Vaughn shoving that one straight down against Penn State.
He only started as a setter 2 times this year. He went out. Eric Pichel was the major player at the setting position. Then Pichel injured his finger, and Vaughn got back into the starting lineup. He's been there since. Joseph Foskey, beautiful spike down the line. He told me earlier this week, he said, where I come from, Pittsburgh, intensity is the key. Of course, tonight, his focus on volleyball going to be challenged a bit with the situation with his father. And in case you missed it early, his father in the hospital, heart attack early this morning, but he's okay, resting okay, and hoping to be okay. So Ed Josefowski trying to maintain concentration. 13-5.
Penn State scrambling. I mean, even though they get the side out there, you can see that almost every contact, it's not smooth, it's not flowing, they're not in rhythm whatsoever. And Hawaii is giving the Nittany Lions a different look, it seems, every time a different server goes back. Got to pass the ball much better.
Miller got the kill. Here's Ivan Contreras, short serve, nice one. Berger went and got it, and Jason Olive hits it straight down.
That's a great set. Jason Olive gets the kill. Certainly credit him for being quick, being aggressive, able to jump about 40 inches. But watch the set from Kurt Vaughn. Never loses sight of ball and the target. Great location.
Penn State on the attack, left side, Miller, and it's out of bounds, and Hawaii will have its first game point coming up. 14-5, the Rainbow Warriors with game point number 1. And it's off. The Hawaii block out of bounds, give the kill to Ivan Contreras. Contreras with his 7th kill.
See, Penn State's passing so poorly, you're wondering why doesn't he get the ball more often? He's a quick hitter when he's in the front court, so he's out of the offense.
Good point. Ortiz with the serve.
Hawaii's passing nails right now.
Look out. Kotz is dug. Big play here for Penn State. Joseph Foskey. Oh, Vaughn dug it 40 feet in the air. The ceiling is 43 feet. Kotz. Back set. Penn State keeps it alive. Little pokey. Score!
This will be an interesting call because Contreras is back court. He left the floor to pokey that ball.
Don't you have to be over the height of the net? Let's check it.
Right. But it's very close. That is very close right there. It goes down as a kill. Can only attack the ball from above the height of the net, in front of the 3-meter line if you're a front court player.
6 serving 14 here in game 1. It's been all Hawaii. Left side, here comes Kotz off the top.
Contreras playing some defense.
Nice up. And Contreras playing some offense. He is a fabulous 6'4", sophomore from Tampico, Mexico. And a substitution, Mike Wilton going to make a quick change.
Game's still under control for Hawaii. They're up 14-7. But Hawaii just wanted to slow things down a little bit. Mike Wilton.
Aaron Wilton is in, a 6'1" sophomore from Honolulu, making the change. Very, very good athlete. They say he's the best athlete on Hawaii's squad in terms of physical testing.
That's saying a lot.
14-7, whip it left side to Kotz. And Kotz buries one, a la Paul Sunderland when he was a youngster. He used to hit like that.
Absolutely. Got a lot of range.
Here's Nicholas Berger. Another game point for Hawaii.
Shaky pass.
Josefowski got it again. 2-step approach, and Ed Josefowski playing a great game 1. He has 8 kills to lead the Nittany Lions. However, they trail 14-7.
Penn State probably not going to win game 1 down by this huge margin, although that's probably what UCLA was saying in game 4 last year in the finals. But they need to find some comfort and some confidence. What a great block that time by Kotz. 3-point scoring opportunities Penn State has not been able to capitalize on. 2 of them they just gave away. This is just a bump shank over the net, and Penn State's got to put that ball away. That was a
Fourth
gift.
chance, game point for Hawaii. It's 14-7. Bo's trying to put it away. They do. How about that? Aaron Wilton with the stuff block. Hawaii winning the Pacific Division of the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation with a 15-4 record. Got by Cal State Northridge in the first round, Santa Barbara in the second round, then lost to UCLA. Receiving the at-large bid
when they made it to the finals.
I think they heard you, Paul Sunderland. They want to pass the ball well, get the ball into the center of the court.
Well, they just got to dig in, and regardless of how well Hawaii serves the ball with the jumper, the floater, the short serve, they give you a different look time and time again. If Penn State doesn't pass the ball well, they're not going to stay in this match for very long.
And the ball drops.
Going to Penn State.
You side out, everything gets easier. Points aren't going up on the board against you. You serve tougher when you go back. You start to get into a flow. You block balls.
14, neutral.
Kevin Hurricane that time at 6'7", getting on Jason Olive.
Ace! It's Miller time.
That too, nobody moves. Get the the husband and wife on the beach all the time.
Don't see it much in collegiate volleyball. Occasionally.
No. You got 6 victims out there, and that one was no communication.
Miller, strong serve, that one out of bounds. So 2-0 Penn State, as Brian Miller, the man who served the NCAA championship point last year against UCLA before the Vesuvius-type eruption after Penn State had upset the Bruins.
There's good pass.
Left side, and the put away.
Nice looking side out.
Jason Kepner, junior from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, with a kill.
Penn State very, very deep in their service reception, but the good pass, swing to the outside, and so far Penn State has come out of the game 1 break a little enthused and focused here just on side and out. Nice shot. You want to restore some order. Yuval Kotz on the right side.
Kotz, who had 5 40-plus kill matches this year, BYU, USC, Long Beach, and Cal State Northridge twice. He liked Northridge, and he will serve. Watch where he throws the ball here. Out into the court. Into the middle, double contact. Called by our first referee, Ken Taylor. Point for the Bows.
You can see how much Ortiz wants to get the ball to Contreras. He was 12 feet off the net when he just threw it into the middle, and Contreras has got to stay there. He's got to be a target regardless of how far off the net his setter goes.
Just out of bounds. Tell you, it's with a lot of velocity. Of course, the key is his arm swing. He has a magnificent arm swing.
And it really helps that he's a lefty.
Yep.
The angles are different. You see right-handed servers, probably 90% of the time all season long, just as Josefowski comes back with his own lefty, but it changes things up a little bit.
Very nice play by Rick Toon. Toon, an excellent blocker. He was a basketball player in high school at Punahou High School, coached by Chris McLaughlin. Also played on the volleyball team that was coached by Peter Balding. 2-sport star, as Contreras blasts it straight down.
That was a big-time play. Toon was all over Contreras, at least where most normal guys hit the volleyball, and he just cranked it down inside him.
Here's Jason Kepner. He's considered the best passer that Penn State has ever had. 6'5" junior from Lancaster, serving from deep, short. And another yucky serve. Service error, 2-1 Penn State, game 2.
If you're going to serve short, don't go all the way back to the perimeter. Split the distance just a little bit. Take some pressure off yourself. Very tough to serve from 40 feet behind the baseline and drop it inside the 10-foot line.
Here's Toon. Good pass, play action, whip it to Miller, and it's off Vaughn. Vaughn appears to be a pretty good blocker for a setter. Most setters are crummy blockers.
You should know that. You should know that.
I do.
Watch Kurt Vaughn. Okay, watch his hands. Gets up, over, and presses into the court. That's a great blocking move. Just gets you used to the outside.
Vaughn back set over to Berger. And Berger on the second attempt puts it away. So Nicholas Berger, he's a sophomore, but he's not coming back next year. He's going to work in the architecture program back in Austria. It's a 1 to 10 year program to apparently complete, and so he's going to go back.
For him, it takes 1 year, and for guys like us, it takes 10. You know, with no talent.
We wouldn't even attempt it. There's Vaughn. They called him Mr. Magenta in the first few matches when he started coloring his hair. He went from magenta to blue to green last week, and now he's orange. Don't know what he'd be in the finals, but we will find out because we will show you the final on ESPN, and that is going to be broadcast on Sunday on one-day delay.
Hawaii serve.
Assuming, of course, if Hawaii gets there, and if they're going to get there, they're going to have to move their defense up a lot closer to the 3-meter line or 10-foot line against Jason Olive, because he's hitting the ball straight down right now.
Perfect set, left side. Give the credit to Carlos Ortiz, and the kill by Brian Miller. Miller, a 6'1" senior from Allison Park, Pennsylvania.
We talked about Jason Kepner being a key for Penn State and their best receiver. He's not getting many chances.
Right.
They're serving away from him as often as they possibly can.
Great serve. And the putaway. Little tap down by Josefowski, point. And it's Miller's serve that has been doing it for the Lions, his third serving point.
Serve the ball short. The receivers have to come way in. Momentum carries the ball too tight to the net. Kurt Vaughn can't get there in order to set the ball.
Okay, his ball is really dropping. Not that time. Vaughn back set, Kotz with the drive.
Nice combo. Who are you going to double up on and cover when Jason Olive and Kotz are right next to one another?
Jason Olive serves.
Here's Jason Olive to serve. Back set, Hurricane dug up. Berger got it up, and Olive into the bottom of the net.
One of the few times Kepner had a chance to pass the ball, and it was right on target. He should take some more court. If they're going to serve away from you, you don't have to worry about guarding your sideline so much or your specific area. Move into the middle of the court and take some more area.
Hawaii won game one, 15-7. Penn State leading here in game two, 3-1. Out of the back line, Jason Olive. As you mentioned early, Paul, Jason Olive, a top fashion model, and there was some concern last year that he wasn't giving full-time devotion to volleyball. Team had a meeting, they said, hey, we can do without you if you don't want to concentrate. So he's got an agreement with the team this year that he's concentrating on volleyball, even gave up a very lucrative modeling contract to play volleyball. Back set, here comes Josefowski. Nice dig. Vaughn to Kotz. Ortiz got it up, and Hurricane can't get there. So Penn State trying to scramble.
Well, working hard defensively. Just to finish the story on Jason Olive, you know, he didn't want to give up his modeling career completely now. I mean, he dropped his scholarship so he could work, so he could earn money, and the team, under the coaching of Mike Wilton, would let him go back to the mainland, do a couple of modeling jobs, and then come back, and Mike Wilton assured me that he was not losing out on the deal financially.
Just early in the year, as Contreras puts it away, Olive speared it up. It's 3-2 Penn State, and Kotz is into the bottom of the net. So Penn State looking a little bit better here in game two. 3-2, Nittany Lions leading by 1. And there is Yuval Kotz. UV, they call him over in the islands, got a big fan club. Here's Olive. Well, you said Jason Olive wasn't losing out on the deal. He told me he gave up a $250,000 contract to play volleyball this year. He did do some jobs in the fall, enough to make money for the year. And you had mentioned the scholarship money. His scholarship money used to lure Yuval Kotz and Sivan Leone, the other Israeli, to Hawaii.
Well, that deal will still be there. I mean, he's just getting started.
Right, but $250,000, maybe not to you, but to most people, that's a big opportunity.
No, that's a big opportunity.
You don't care about it because
he's got a chance to win an NCAA championship.
All right. There is Jason Olive. Game two, 3-1 Penn State.
250, really?
3-2 Penn State. Yes. Excuse me. Got that 2 on my mind there.
See the cutbacks out of the middle. The ball is set past the midline of the middle hitter, and the Penn State blockers are not adjusting, reaching into
all right,
the cutback.
Substitution coming in for Rick Toon is the other Israeli, Sivan Leone. Is this guy a creature or what? He's got an anchor tattooed on one of his arms.
It's not even a tattoo. One of his buddies drew it on for tonight's match.
He's a 6'5" freshman from Kibbutz Hama Apil, Israel. Very animated, very good. And Hawaii's into the net. So Toon is out for the moment. Leone considered a little better hitter than Toon. Toon is the better blocker of the two. There's the anchor And we were hoping to see if he had a boat tattooed on him or drawn on him somewhere. He said,
So does the chain go up across your shoulder and down the other arm?
What did he say to you, Paul? He says, I like the sea.
I like to sail.
Olive cranks one through. Jason Olive, very, very talented all-around guy. Writes poetry, models, sings, hits the quick, blocks the combo.
Helped reestablish the Black Student Union at the University of Hawaii.
Interesting, nice shot. The ball was off Hawaii, out of bounds. Winner of this plays the winner of Ball State and UCLA. You'll see that later here on ESPN2.
So we're talking so much about the international influences of both of these teams.
Well, talking about Penn State's starting lineup, they have one kid from Mexico, one kid from Puerto Rico, and 4 from Pennsylvania. An international starting lineup.
Yep.
Hawaii has the ball. There is Sivan Leone. Wait till you see him put one down. He is very animated.
He gets animated when somebody else puts one down.
Hawaii chance for a point. Vaughn, back set. And Kotz, ball right back. Dug up.
Gotta stay
and
deep.
He puts it away. Especially on Kotz.
Yeah, you got to stay deep.
One guy.
Yeah, you got to play center field. You cannot get bunched up into the middle of the court. Penn State's blockers are doing a fabulous job here, but the Penn State defense is getting sucked up inside.
Kotz 10 kills to lead Hawaii. 3-3 is our score. And Hurricane, ball bounces back. Ortiz back set to Josefowski, and it's out of bounds. Hawaii has the lead.
Hawaii really working over at Josefowski, making him a receiver first, and that is not his strength. Kepner's the best passer, and they're just taking him right out of the match. Don't serve him, he's not involved.
Shot! Out! And it's over and out on the top of the antenna. Point for Hawaii. And there is the man for Hawaii so far, Yuval Kotz. 11 kills and 2 blocks. Is there a horse he compares to?
We were talking about it. Secretariat's not bad, but I'm sure there are others. He's gotten out of the starting gate cleanly.
Penn State in white, Hawaii in green. Jason Olive dug up. And Contreras puts it away. Nice shot. Down went Olive. Let's see if he's okay. He is.
Boy, they run that transition pipe very, very quickly. The pipe zone, backcourt is divided up into the D, pipe, and A zones, right to left across your dial, so to speak. And I'll tell you, Contreras and Ortiz run the pipe very quickly up the middle in transition. Penn
State making its 5th straight trip to the national semifinals for Hawaii. This is the first time ever for the Bows. Back set, here comes Kotz, and Kotz drills another one.
The Hawaii kill by Yuval Kotz.
So Kotz doing what he was expected to do. 12 kills now for Kotz. He came 13,860 miles from Israel to play in Honolulu, Hawaii. We'll have more on that story in a minute. Left side, nobody there, and the put away by Kepner. What a set by Ortiz.
Everybody was so worried about Hawaii suffering from jet lag and all their travel problems, and I think Yuval Kotz just had a little bit of turning back the dial. He just forgot, wait a minute, I'm lost out here. Nice set to the outside.
Left side, and Sean Scott dug up by Vaughn. Nice play. 5-4 is our score, and Kepner racks it through. So Miller and Kepner playing much more inspired here in game 2.
Making a contribution defensively on the outside, passing balls accurately when they have the opportunity, but I still say they got to take, because Josefowski's really the target now for Hawaii.
Kevin Hurricane set to serve it up. Kotz, perfect pass. Kotz has it. Dug up by Ortiz. Chance for a point. Oh, and they call double contact. What?
Let him play.
I tell you, in high school and college, they call it tighter than they do internationally.
That set would not have been called in the finals of the Olympic Games. I mean, it's what's supposed to be the highest level of the sport, and it is, obviously. Let him play.
I like calling a double contact or a lift, but here's Kotz. 5-5 is our score. I love it when Kotz doesn't serve his jumper. He just throws it out there and lets one of his other guys pick it up. Most guys go pick it up.
Well, that's because his toss lands about 6 feet into the court.
Watch him go from behind. We'll see if how Hawaii sets up its D. And he's into the net. So he didn't like his first toss. Second toss didn't look much better. And Kotz with the serving error. Let's check Hawaii's service errors. A lot of them, 10.
How many aces, though, and how many points have they gotten off rebound misses and things like that? Only 1 ace. That's not the kind of ratio you want. They're putting a lot of pressure on Penn State.
Sean Scott down the line. He hit it out, and Penn State has a point. Nittany Lions up by 1 here in game 2. I'm Chris Marlowe, my partner Paul Sunderland. Live coverage as Ed Josephowski sets the serve for Penn State.
This is going to Kotz or Olive.
Kotz coming, trouble. Ortiz and Contreras with the draw.
And Hurricane, who was not a great volleyball player when he came to Penn State, but he worked and was determined, made the good ball control play with a free ball pass.
The numbers on Contreras having a big night, a 4-point run by Penn State. Shank pass, making a 5-point run, and Ed Josephowski with the serve. And we're going to have a substitution. Sean Scott is going out, and here comes Aaron Wilton. Wilton, the son of the coach, he's a very good player. He had 16 kills against Northridge in a match this year. And there's...
Got to load your blocking. You know where things are going to go when you're in trouble. Those 2 places. Jason Olive, Yuval Kotz, and Yuval Kotz just walked over to Kurt Vaughn, his setter and quarterback, and said, I want the next set.
They're going to bring Rick Toon back in. Sivan Leone goes back out. There's Olive trying to inspire his team. Hawaii won game 1 easily, 15-7. But Penn State has rallied here in game 2 and leads 9-5. 6 points in a row. They'll set Kotz. And Kotz hits it straight down.
I guess maybe when you're the best hitter in collegiate volleyball, at least a lot of people certainly think so, and you go over to your setter and say, set me. It's not too, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to make that decision.
So Aaron Wilton will serve it up. His father told me he's got a 41-inch vertical. He can touch 11-4, and he's 6'1", Paul. You know what that means. Josephowski with the drive.
Starting to get production out of a lot of different positions right now. Contreras started it. They're passing the ball much better. We talked about that, the problems that Penn State had in game 1. Watch for short serve here. Lots of room in the left front.
Down the line, perfect pass. Vaughn back set. Berger with the blast. So Nicholas Berger unloads.
Kurt
Vaughn setting the ball extremely well. I really like him so far. Moves it around, makes good decisions, got big hands.
He's a sophomore from Ventura, California. And there is Carlos Ortiz with the slam dunk. I think most people think Ortiz is the best setter in the country at doing everything. Ortiz wearing number 8 in white. Fabulous dump there. 9-5, Penn State leading Hawaii here in game 2. Dug up, chance to go to 10. Bad set, horrible set. Nice save by Miller. Berger, yes. So a chance to get point number 10 for Penn State. Goes by the board.
Ortiz banging himself on the front of the head, giving himself a lobotomy just about for making that mistake.
There's Carlos Ortiz from Puerto Rico, Ponce, Puerto Rico, to be specific. First team All-Conference, first team All-American.
If you want to keep the momentum, however, you got to make good, smart choices when your team has a chance to score. So turn around right there. Instead of moving it up on the scoreboard, they're down 1 as their lead shrinks.
9-6 now as Miller gets stuffed by Berger. Hawaii serving eased up a little, do you think?
Just a little bit, because they're not siding out nearly as well.
Right.
You're not going back and just regaining possession and have that good flow. And you can bet right now after these mistakes that when Penn State goes back, since it took them so much more effort to get possession of the ball, they're going to be a lot more careful when they get back and serve.
They'll wipe up the floor from the sweat of number 17, Ed Josephowski. 9-7 as Hawaii gets 2 points in a row. And there is Kurt Vaughn. And a big story for Hawaii. A sophomore. And he's got a lot of big guns to go to and a lot of guys to yell at him in this team.
A lot of weapons, and the chemistry on this Hawaii team seems very, very good. They like each other an awful lot. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, and well put together by Mike Wilton.
Born in Fresno, California, 1993 graduate of Ventura High School, majoring in engineering at Hawaii, so he's very, very bright.
I this pass by Kepner.
Contreras, nice.
That is a big, big side out. In game 1, Hawaii ran off 6 straight points. In game 2, they've only gone 2 points and then been stalled for a while, and then a couple of more back-to-back. Penn State doing a much better job in game 2 of slowing them down.
Nittany Lions lead by 2. However, Hawaii leads the match. And Kotz puts it away. If you're an old-time volleyball player, you may remember the great Brazilian player that came to USC, Celso Kalachi, one of the first foreign players. Kotz is built much like Kalachi. Kalachi was about 6'2", whip arm, jumped. Well, Kotz is 6'5", does the same thing, brings more heat, but eerily like the great Celso Kalachi of the mid-70s.
Both jump grade have super fast arm swings.
Jason Olive.
Just getting a little jacked up as he gets way over the net. Takes away the cross court from Josephoski. 3 points in a row now for Hawaii. Watch Jason Olive. He's late. Gets a lot of good help from the outside.
And yeah, back to live action. Kevin Hurricane puts it down. 9-8 now. As Penn State will have the ball. There's Hurricane in the front line. Let's check Hurricane's blocking here. Where is he?
Very quiet.
Only one block.
Very quiet. Penn State not blocking the ball very well. But you got to give Hawaii credit for that, and Kurt Vaughn in particular.
Ball dug up. 9-8's our score. Contreras again.
Up the pipe, straight down the middle. That's like 3-inch wide, heavy steel pipe.
He leads Penn State in kills, attempts, block solos, second in hitting percentage, and I'm told he's an excellent dancer.
You always save the best for last.
I got it out of the media guide, baby. Trust me. Olive. Block back. Over to Kotz, and it's poked up by Josephoski. Can he get up? Boy, he hit that right-handed. No, that wasn't Josephoski. Here's Josephoski. Did he get a touch?
I thought he did.
No touch.
Wow.
That was Jason Kepner on the far side. We're screened for a moment. Give Hawaii the ball.
Wow, what a great play by Kepner, keeping things happening. He got the tip inside off the soft block, then got back up, had to take a swing. Nobody out of the back row coming to make the play.
So Hawaii will have the ball in a very good game, too. Jason Olive talked about his involvement in professional modeling. He also turned down offers from Madonna and Janet Jackson to do videos. Hawaii did that. I thought he was a bright kid. Hawaii with the chance here. Olive, not yet. Over to Kotz. Dug up by Penn State. Left side, Kepner. See how Kotz sets the ball into the middle. Olive, rejected.
How's Penn State blocking? Better. They better focus on that as well. Jason Olive giving everything he's got, putting this ball away. See Yuval Kotz setting his buddy in transition, and big three-man block by Penn State.
Substitution now for Penn State. Jake Youngchar is in. 5'11" junior from Kent, Ohio.
Middle of the court. He's trying to serve short. And I think Penn State ought to go back to, he did. About 10 feet too short. Thank you very much.
Youngchar with the serving error. Penn State has served all right in terms of not making errors. They've made 7 errors and 2 aces. Here's Yuval Kotz. And he whacks it out of bounds. I want to talk about the Hawaiian travel. It's been a big factor if you don't know about it. Hawaii has spent 20 hours in 8 days flying around the country. Hawaii to LA, back to Hawaii, Hawaii to LA, and all the way to Springfield. Mike Wilton said it won't affect us, but could it affect them if the matches run long here? Penn State gets another block. And a point, give it to Jason Kepner. What about the travel?
Well, the travel, if anybody who's gone those sorts of distances from Hawaii, or let's say from Los Angeles or New York to Europe or the Far East, I mean, you feel it for days.
Yes.
They say it takes you a day for every hour in time change, and that's 6 days. Hawaii's been in this part of the country, in this time zone, since Wednesday, so they've only had a couple of days to adjust.
Penn State's on fire now, out of the back. Youngchar is blocked. They set left. There's Contreras. That's who they wanted to set. Hawaii with a dig. Vaughn, back set. And
got it. Got it.
Up. Contreras, yes.
Contreras had 13 kills earlier, adding to that total. For them, he's been the offensive star.
Jason Olive suddenly has gone cold. He whacks one out of bounds, and it's 13-8. So Penn State has really turned it around here in game 2. The Nittany Lions were trailing 5-3. And they have really turned it around. Now they lead 13-8.
Oh, you got to keep that serve in. You're rolling a little bit. I like it that they're going with a short serve. But Penn State starting to run a little bit, and Hawaii feeling some pressure. That set, however, was absolutely going to Kotz if it had been in play.
Once again, Hawaii has never been in the NCAA National Semifinals. Penn State, a veteran team and the defending national champion. There's a block. Nicholas Berger saying, yes, sir, baby, in Austrian. Got full handage on that. 13-9 now. Hawaii won game 1, 15-7. This is game 2.
Tough serve. Josefowski again the target.
Vaughn back set. Here comes Kotz. And it's blocked. Kotz going. Can't get there.
Boy, it looked like he threw the anchor down a little bit, like he was spread out. Maybe hurt a little bit when he landed after hitting that ball. Slowed up a little bit in his attempt to go after it.
Tough landing. We are playing on sport court, described as the volleyball surface of the 90s. Sometimes the landing gear doesn't quite get down. 13-9 is our score. Berger. And Josefowski misses a very easy dig.
Penn State has got to close this out. There you see it. Literally thousands of sections of plastic material put together.
Players seem to enjoy playing on it.
It's soft, it's cushiony, it dries up quickly, which is very important.
And it looks great.
Looks great. Good traction, which is very important.
Jake Yanchar goes out. Yanchar with the great pancake, dripping with syrup. And Kevin Hurricane, the big man, back in.
Got to think blocking right here, going with another short serve.
Penn State finally got one in. Vaughn back set to Berger. They're getting 2 blockers up. Hawaii not setting the middle attack as much as it was.
Well, they're not passing the ball nearly as well. Jason Olive has not gotten a set in the middle out of serve receive, 4-side out, much in this game at all. And I don't think that Vaughn is setting Kotz nearly enough. That's a great block.
Jason Olive is quite a leaper. He got a straight down stuff block there, his second. And it's 13-10 as Hawaii tries to fight back.
Short serve again.
And Hurricane hits it out of bounds. Point Hawaii. So the Bows score 2 in a row.
Got to start thinking timeout here. Penn State must have this game.
Mark Pavlik, his first year, a longtime assistant at Penn State, 5 years. Shank pass. And is that in? I guess it is. Over to Vaughn. Kotz. See ya. And Hawaii is pulled to within 1.
3 outstanding short serves in a row by Kurt Vaughn. Kurt Vaughn thinking, keep this serve in. Penn State's in trouble. Serve short once again. Get it on Josefowski if you can.
And a beautiful dump shot by the senior All-American, Carlos Ortiz.
That was a big pass by Josefowski. They've been working on him. It's not his best skill, not his strength, receive and serve, but that was right on the dime.
Best 3 out of 5 game match as Carlos Ortiz will serve. Pass at the 10-foot line. Vaughn whip it out to Kotz, and they block him. And Josefowski and Kevin Hurricane. The Nittany Lions have finally blocked the great Yuval Kotz, and he says, "Sit me again."
He wants it again. All great hitters keep saying that no matter how many times they get stuffed. Josefowski, a big play on the outside.
First game point. Another block by Penn State, but it's out of bounds. So Vaughn chose to back set to Berger. And Hawaii will have it.
Players one-on-one, good choice. Everybody was expecting the ball to go outside to UV Kotz.
12 serving 14. Back set, Josefowski. Chance for a point. Vaughn, Kotz, goodbye. Oh, he's hitting rockets.
That is a thunderbolt right over the top.
16
and that's
kills
over
for
Hurricane.
Kotz. Now, 14-13. Hawaii trailing Penn State by 1. Game 2. Josefowski, Wilton got his hands on it, and it's a side out. Now Penn State will have its second chance at game point. Penn State very, very experienced. And Brian Miller will serve it up.
He's had some success too. Remember the hubby wife earlier? Good floater up the middle.
Good pass. Vaughn back set. No doubt about it. Yuval Kotz again. That's 17 kills for Kotz.
Side out Hawaii.
Going for a big night.
Well, he's hitting the ball so hard that even when he gets it just cleanly past the block, the defense seems to have no chance to react.
Jason Olive with the Rainbows trailing by 1. Good pass, set, left, and nobody there. They're not even guarding Jason Kepner. They're worried about the center and Josefowski coming from behind.
Well, it's like everything else. You guard the other team's strength. Hurricane up the middle. Kepner with nobody there. Everybody bunched inside.
3 set with a fast 4 on top. Another chance for Penn State here in game 2. Off the top, this could be it. Oh, Hurricane threw it up there, no call, and the put away. Wow, I thought Hurricane's pass was
I know what you're trying to get.
The one he called.
That ball almost didn't get out of his hands like your description couldn't get out, because there were sets and passes that were better that were not called, but you swallow the whistle at game point.